I'm Kennedy Harris. Welcome back to VOX ATL, where we don't just watch stories, we actually learn from them. Today we're going to be delving into the facts about sleep, sleep deprivation, and how it affects teens, their mental health, and their overall well-being, and how they articulate throughout their day of life, especially in the context of bipolar disorder. So as a community, we can show up with more empathy, intention, and show up as a community as a whole.
I think a lot of homework usually, because I go to a private school, and what we do at our private school, we work with a lot of like big based companies outside of our school. Like we work with Chick-fil-A, Delta, all of the other companies like that. So something that like is a big struggle for me is making sure that I'm able to prioritize my work in those classes where I have to work with other big companies, but also my work in other classes. So sometimes I kind of have to sacrifice my time at home. So being able to balance that, plus, you know, I also do martial arts as well. So I'll usually be up a lot at night, you know, around like 11 or 12 o'clock. So I might be using a little bit of sleep there, and then I have to get up in the mornings very early. So I maybe get like 6 hours of sleep every night, which probably isn't the best for a teen.
Sleep deprivation is also linked to irritability, as well as it's harder for teens to really communicate their day or really get their point across, taking tests, really focusing in on schoolwork that really matters at that time. It also leads to anger problems, anger issues, as well as other harmful things that can really disrupt the teen's mind and overall well-being over time.
I feel like when it comes down to, like you said, clubs, sports, and also people also like to sleep inside school. So when you sleep in school, that can also cause to mess up the sleep schedule that you have during the day, or well, at nighttime when it comes down to actually sleep, because you feel as if you've had that time to sleep. So then you want to stay up a little longer at night, and then that might cause you to like go over time, and then you will mess up your sleep schedule.
Teens might be asking themselves, why do they need the extra sleep than adults? Well, the truth is, our body are going through the different changes through cognitive changes that extra sleep really helps and takes into account, which helps with learning, emotional ability, and really grasping on life and getting all the things that we need to grow and be successful into our next stage of life after adolescence.
I definitely go to sleep very, very early. If not, I'm very cranky in the morning. I can't focus at school. I tend to get headaches when I don't sleep. And when I come back, I take a nap, and then I'm behind on my homework.
The sleep hormone melatonin really kicks in for children around 8 to 9 p.m. and teens 10 to 11 p.m. This is really important, and advice that I can give to our teens is to set timers, sleep timers on your TV if possible, and taking a little break from your phone so that you're getting a really good night rest of sleep, as well as putting down the phone. I know how hard it can sound for our teens out there. I'm gonna admit to myself, it's hard even for me sometimes, but you really need to hone in on putting timers on your phone, really setting down the phone, from taking breaks from different apps, social media apps, and sometimes even telling your friends, hey, we really need to go to bed right now. As well as, I know you might be asking, why is this so imperative for our children and for teens all around the world? Well, we actually go into the sense of a sleep phase, and it's very different for your adolescents. We really grow into it, and it's a very imperative moment for us to really get in that sleep. It might be different for children to really adapt to, but it's important as well, because for teens, when you're getting gradually used to it in a sense, their teens might feel a little bit sleepier throughout the morning time and a little bit tired during the evening.
Sleep is very important, not only in youth, even adults. We recommend everyone to get at least 8 to 10 hours of sleep every night. We should have like a routine, like right 2 hours before your bedtime. I would say definitely no electronics, no devices, no YouTube, no TikTok. Trying to come up with a routine so your body can come down from the day that you had. Use that time to get ready for the next day. Even use that time to spend with God. You know, pick a Bible verse, say a prayer, asking for guidance for a peaceful sleep.
Delayed sleep phase is a normal adolescent shift that helps us go from adolescence to eventually our normal adulthood. This is a really big change for teens to get used to at night, because it makes them want to sleep later when they mean to sleep earlier, so they can be better prepared for the morning for their school or even work.
Something that my school does to support teen health is they break up our assignments into or break them up into like little sections. Like my school runs on a module schedule instead of like a semester schedule. So what we do is every 9 weeks is the start of a new module. So not only does that kind of decrease work for a lot of students, but that also allows a lot of students to be able to intake more classes. And then with that, that kind of like takes up less of the time that most students would have to take. Because with more semesters, that means more involved assignments and more involved units, which also means a lot more studying to do. So our school kind of likes to take time off of that for the students by just making everything about 9 weeks worth of a lesson.
Long-term sleep deprivation also leads to kids and teens to feeling a sense of overwhelmed, feeling sadness, and even increasing the likelihood of them having depression or symptoms of depression.
I feel like they could help us manage our hours when it comes down to doing homework. I feel as if they could have a certain block or at least a period that's dedicated to that time, because only freshmen get the access of having HST, which is dedicated to that. But I feel as if all grades need that access to be able to have that block to be able to do their work in that class.
Chronic lack of sleep can also lead to different immune disorders and immune deficiencies, which can also have a hard time and cause children more stress on their body that is really unintended for, and can cause them to be more inclined to getting sickness and overall diseases.
Bipolar disorder is a mental health condition that causes a person's mood, energy, and even activity levels to swing between two extremes: really up, called mania, and really down, named as depression. These shifts are stronger and more intense than normal mood changes and can affect school, friendships, sleep, and even daily life. Now you might be asking yourself, what is the upside mania feels like? Someone might feel super excited or confident. They might be talking a lot, very fast, and have racing thoughts, need very little sleep, even take risks they normally wouldn't, as well as getting irritated easily. You might be also asking, what is the downside, known as depression? Now, this is the most known side effect. This can make somebody feel sad, tired, hopeless, loss of interest in things they usually enjoy, sleep a lot more, having trouble focusing, feeling worthless, or even alone at times.
So, from my understanding, bipolar disorder is a depressive disorder characterized by different highs and lows and very intense, not necessarily mood swings, but periods of, very intense like manic episodes and very intense depressive episodes. And these episodes last roughly around 2 weeks or more. And they really change the way that you view the world and interact with your surroundings.
Some people out there might be asking, well, what causes it? There isn't one single cause, but the things that can play a role include genetics. It could possibly run in the family. Stress or big life changes. Difference in how the brain works. It's not anyone's fault, so please don't blame yourself. Can people get better? Yes, they truly can. With support from your doctors, therapy sessions, healthy routines, and sometimes medication, many teens with bipolar disorder learn to manage their symptoms and live full, active lives. If you are someone you know is struggling with intense mood swings or through thoughts of self-harm, it's really important to reach out to a trusted adult, like a doctor, a counselor, right away.
I have maybe 1 or 2 friends that deal with bipolar disorder, as I know of. I wouldn't say that I noticed any physical signs personally. However, sometimes my friends will tell me some of the experience that they've had, whether they're struggling or not, or if they're taking medication, how that's interacting with their mood and their schoolwork and so on and so forth.
Big life changes like divorce or even moving can put a lot of stress on teens. When everything familiar shifts at once, home, routines, even relationships, it can make teens feel uncertain, overwhelmed, or even emotionally drained. These changes don't just affect where they live, but how safe, supported, and stable they actually feel.
As always, VOX ATL is about sharing stories that really matter to the people and teens and really getting their point across out there. If today's video really helped you, I hope that it did, so that you can send it to other people that might need the help. As well, send us something in the comments that tells us more about what you would like to see in the next upcoming video. As always, this is VOX ATL. I'm Kennedy. Thanks.